Happy Wednesday, guys. Hope everybody's doing well out there. We're moving on with this project, so this will be, gosh, is this video 6, I think? I think this is video number 6. So now we're going to do the color on this flag. So one thing that I really wanted to go over is the fact that I spent at least an hour just taking all the high spots. And I used my little hand carving tool, but I could have used a pocket knife, but I used my little hand carving tool and taking down all the high spots and then clearing out all of the grooves. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll use my stiff bristle brush and I'll use my blower and I'll brush and blow at the same time so that it blows all that stuff out of there. The last thing you want is stuff down in a groove that comes loose after you've got your spraying all done. So we're going to do this in stages. First thing I'm going to do is I am going to mask off the black logo here just to make sure that I don't get any red or blue. And I'm warning you right up front, this masking tape has been giving me fits. Even though this is good 3M tape, it has been coming off in little pieces, which, you know, drives me nuts. But yeah, see, it's already starting to tear right there. So bear with me. Anyway, so and I'm going to do a process on here, there, just like that. You saw that, huh? Just like that. I'm going to do a process on here that I haven't done before. If you guys watched me do any of that work on the flag and how I brought two inset things together, what we're going to do first is we're going to do the red. We're going to spray the red first. And what I'm going to do, this tape, dadgummit. Actually, I don't need to. Well, I need to mask off anything that's going to be blue or black within any kind of distance to make sure that I don't get any blue or red into the blue or the black area. So I am gonna chuck this tape across the room is what I'm gonna do. I hate that. When you buy a good roll of tape, not the cheap stuff, this is 3M, and it comes off in little strip pieces like that. Durr. Yep, see? Man, that drives me crazy. But anyway, so I'm not going to make you guys sit through this. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my masking to get ready to spray the red, and then we'll come back and get this red sprayed.
Hey folks, I just wanted to do a little quick voiceover here. On this comfort grip, if you happen to get one of these Rust-Oleum comfort grips, just understand there's a little flange right around this nozzle that thing seats into, that the comfort grip does, and that's what really holds it in place. You can kind of squeeze it like I'm doing there. I've had it come off on me a couple times, but once I make sure of that, then I don't have any problems. The other thing is I'm using ink on this. No primer. This is all the spray stencil ink. So I'm not using any sanding sealer because I'm using redwood. I only use sanding sealer, again, on pine, especially when I'm using black. And then the other thing is, make sure don't overspray. Nice, even, short spurts. Keep the can moving. Don't keep it in one place all at one time. You'll overspray that way.
All right, now we got the red all done. It's pretty much dried. We've got everything masked off within a certain area. Now we're going to spray the blue. Again, we're nice, short spurts. Not putting it on too heavy. And again, I'm just getting close. I've got my masking tape kind of inside of where I really want the blue to be, but I'm going to brush all of the stuff close where the blue and the black meet, and then where the blue and the red meet. I'm going to brush those in by hand. That's something that I've never really done before, but I wasn't happy with the way that flag turned out that I did before, and so I'm trying something new. All right, we're gonna let that We're going to let that dry. We're going to pull that masking tape off and get ready to put the black around the edge.
We do have sound, by the way.
We have sound? Good. All right. We have sound. All right. So I think I have everything masked off. I'm really nervous about this. I think I've got everything masked off. But this, eventually, this is just going to be a big black fat line around here. So we're gonna spray this line. Again, short spurts. It's still, even though redwood doesn't bleed really, I still don't want to overspray. So we're gonna get all of this sprayed, and then after this all dries, then what we're gonna do after that, we're gonna take off all the masking tape and we're gonna do brush work and fill in all the light spots. That's really all I need to do. All right, guys, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back, and we have the to finish up this color, and it's going to be kind of a long, laborious process. And let me show you what I mean by that.
I like that word.
Laborious? That's a big one. I looked it up.
Did you?
So I've referred a couple times to the flag projects that I've done in the past. Here is what I did in the past that I don't like, and I'm probably never going to do it again. I left this little wood piece in here, and I just carved right to there, and then I just colored that with a Sharpie. It's okay, but I don't like it. So I'm probably actually going to fix this before I let Vicky have it, because Vicky said she wants it for the wall. I'm probably going to fix this. And it would have been okay had I used the actual ink like I'm going to use today, rather than just using a Sharpie, because they're not the same color. So I learned a couple different things on that. But let me show you what I've decided to do here. And I've already done a little bit of it. I'm going to hold this up. In these areas right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, which matches these areas, 1, 2, 3, 4. This little red piece right here, I'm not worried about. That's going to end up just being black, actually, the black outline. But these 4 areas here, I've already done my process that I'm going to do on the whole thing. I'm going to hold this up just slightly.
Go ahead. It's stuck to the paper. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay, point.
So in this area here, and this area, and this, and this, I've brought the red right to the black. Now the issue that there is anytime you bring 2 inset places together, that's where you have, how do you blend those 2 together to make sure that you've got, you know, your black right to your red. So when you guys saw me spray these colors, you noticed that I did the red first, then I did the blue, and then I did the black. There's a reason that I used that order, is because the red is the lightest of the 3. So if I needed to put blue over red, I could do that. If I needed to put black over red or blue, I can do that. So I took the lightest color and I sprayed that first, and that's what I'm doing in this painting, kind of. So I really want to get the red all done first, although I'm going to do a little bit of black on the outside of the red to show you guys exactly how I did this. And then after the red is done, I'll do the blue, and then the last thing will be the black all the way around, because the black will cover either the red or the blue. I know it's kind of confusing. I'm confused myself. Anyway, so I kind of wanted to go over that first before I started this process. Again, now we're going to come back in just a second, and I'm going to show you exactly how I'm doing this. We'll be right back. All right, so I picked up another set of paintbrushes. I have a set of paintbrushes already, but I wanted to get another set just because I wanted to have some extras. I just picked these up at Walmart. I think they were like $10, and they're, I guess the actual the stuff that they're made of, I guess, is gold Taklon, I don't even know what gold Taklon is, but it appears to be what the fibers are on these brushes. So I've already used them a couple times. I picked 2 different brushes that I'm using, and one of them I'm using for the black, and one of them I'm using for the red. So that is these 2 right here. Now, remember this, I'm using ink on all of this. So the only solvent that I've found for ink, or the solvent that I use anyway, is gasoline. I don't use acetone, won't touch it. Lacquer thinner won't touch it.
Won't touch it, you mean won't clean it?
Won't clean it. Yeah, it won't. It doesn't act as a solvent. It just won't work. So I've got some gasoline in this jar. Actually, a disclaimer: you want to have nice ventilation when you're using gasoline, and probably put your cigarette out before you before you start. So no open flames. So anyway, so here's what we're going to do. I've got the ink. I've got a little plate that I'm using. What I'm going to do right now, again, going with a lighter color first, I'm going to paint some, actually it's not paint, it's ink, so I don't want to use that term. I'm going to brush on some red. So I've got these already shook up, but what I'm going to do, carefully, is I'm just going to spray some red on there, and it'll stay wet for a few minutes. And I'm just can't believe I'm actually doing this, because this is really, really time consuming, guys. But you know, the thing I wanted to talk about too is the fact that you have to understand, when I first started doing signs, everything was based around speed, and it was based around doing it on site, in front of people, you know, at flea markets and horse shows and craft fairs and county fairs. So the processes that I do these days aren't necessarily conducive to that environment. So I can take more time, and on this I'm taking it to the max. But a lot of you guys, you know, take a lot of time on your signs, and that's great. But again, I started out doing it out there in a trailer or in a setup where people were ordering signs, and then they would come back and in 15, 20 minutes or a half hour, and I needed to have the sign done. So this obviously is not a process that you want to do out on site. But I'm you know, my signs these days, in most cases, are a little bit different. Everything's done in the shop. So you can see this is how I'm bringing the red. Now if I ended up getting red over that edge into that black, it's not going to be a problem, because I can just go back. Where's all the sawdust coming from?
It's settling.
Off my head, I guess. I can just go back and touch it up black over the red. And the red will kind of cover over the black a little bit, but not that great. So you just saw right there how I brought those 2 colors together. Now, if somebody has a better idea, hey, I'm all ears. I'm going to move on to this spot down here, babe. I'm absolutely open to, if you guys have a better solution or a better idea. The other thing that comes to mind as I'm doing this is, now you can see really the importance of using a stiff bristle brush and getting all of the sawdust out of every little groove as much as you can. Because if these grooves weren't brushed out and they had sawdust down in them, you'd really have an issue with this. I know I should have done that on camera. But so what I'm doing here, and you guys can't see this, on the underside of this ledge right here, I want that all to be red. And I don't care if I get it up on top, because it's all going to be sanded anyway. I did that on purpose, you know, just so you guys... Huh?
Sure you did.
Yeah. Yeah, everything is by design here. Not. Anyway, so this is a long process, and I will probably have, I would imagine, 4 or 5 hours just in this brush process. And there probably is an easier way, but I haven't figured it out yet. So if you guys have a better way of doing this, I'm listening. But I know this way will come out the way I want it, or at least I hope. So now this area right here, that's what's going to be black. This one, I've already done that. And I actually... Are you following me, babe, or am I moving too fast for you?
I think I'm keeping up.
Okay. All right, so now I'm going to put this in my little gasoline cup over here. Let it sit while I grab my black brush. This is the one that I'm using for black.
Okay,
you can see it's got...
that over there.
Oh, it's got a different tip on it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black. Don't need much. It dries pretty fast anyway. The black seems to dry pretty faster actually than the red does. Is that coming out okay?
I hope so.
Think they're getting an idea of...
I think so.
Obviously, the bigger the sign, and this has many carvings where inset is coming to inset, and that makes it, whenever possible, I like to try and have outset and inset intersecting, and that makes it really simple. This is not one of those. But I knew what I wanted it to look like. Now, see here, it's like, okay, is that going to be red or is that going to be black? It's going to be black because this is a red stripe. You wouldn't have a red stripe coming up the edge there. So that's got to be black.
Well, this is going to take you for a while.
It's going to take me for a while, yes. Perfect English there. It's going to take me for a ride.
One of the grandkids. It's going to take you for a while.
So, and again, all the way around the end, the edge. Now, I could have done a little bit better masking job, but I'm kind of, again, this is the first time I've done this, guys. So, you know, as it gets better, maybe I would have been better off spending a couple more hours in masking and then cutting the masking. I don't know. Maybe. But this is the way, that's pretty much the way I want it to look. So I've got the black coming right to the red. Yeah, and I can actually... No, you're all right. So now I have to go, you know, all the way down here. But again, this is, I don't know, maybe I'm changing, but it just, this is almost kind of fun actually, and which is really, I can't even believe I'm saying those words.
You are definitely changing.
Maybe all this spray is getting to me, and I'm losing my mind. But it doesn't really seem to be bothering me much.
Therapeutic?
I don't know, therapeutic, but I don't know.
Do you need therapy?
Well, yeah, that goes without saying. So then you can go back, you know, and there's, you know, little places here and there that I'll go back and touch up. Now here's an instance right in here. I don't know if you can get, you probably have to be at this angle, right down in that groove. I don't know how close you can get. If you get right down in that groove, you can almost see there's some extra sawdust down in there, like some loose stuff. I really don't want to paint over that. I want to get all that loose. That's stuff that I missed when I was stiff brushing.
Stiff brushing.
Is that what I said? Okay, so now my black is pretty much dried up, but And I know my wife, as soon as the camera goes off, she's going to say, okay, I want to do that. Give me a brush.
No.
Give me a brush.
she's
I want to do that.
No.
That looks like fun.
Sorry, I was looking. Lost my place there. No, you just wish that that's what she wants to say.
Well, I thought it would work. I thought I'd give it a shot.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I know it, and you guys are probably like, what the? Yeah, I know. Now, I really shouldn't be doing this. I should have done the red first, because the red doesn't cover the black. So I made a mistake. I should have done that red first, and then come back and do the black after that.
Okay.
All right, so I hope you guys can get an idea of what I'm doing there. Now I have to do that all the way around the whole United States. And it's going to feel like I did it all the way around the whole United States.
It is when you do it.
Yeah, so I am going to finish that up off camera so you guys, I'm not torturing you guys. And then hopefully when we come back on the next scene, it's time to sand and see what this thing really is going to look like. Hang with us. All right, you guys, it is about 5 hours later. And I think I got the painting all done. Let's sand it off, see what she looks like. My favorite part. I'm using the 40 grit paper for my first sand. Okay, the next sand is my little armadillo, and this is a 175 grit belt. Let's do it. All right. Guess it's time to blow it off, see what it looks like.
My favorite part.
Yeah, this is everybody's favorite part. I think I'm going to turn it around.
I'm going to move over here.
So we will be right back and blow it off. Well, there it is, guys. That looks all right. It'll look a lot better, I think, once we get the finish on it. And I am going to do one more sand. I'm
sorry, I just wanted to get up a little bit closer.
And I'm going to do one more sand with my little octo sander, and give it a finished sand. You can see some places that I didn't get quite enough with the 180 or the 175 grit. And I want to go back and do a finish sand over the whole thing. But the thing that I really like about using the belt sanders is you saw a couple places where there was a couple little black spots that were maybe little gouges and stuff, and I can actually pinpoint those and sand those down deeper. But anyway, I'm happy with the way that came out. I really am. So we'll be right back, you guys. All right, folks, we got one more step before we're going to pour this thing. I'm going to drill a series of holes. You can see these lines on here. I'm going to drill a series of holes, and you're going to find out what those are for on Friday's video when we end up pouring the whole epoxy finish on this. So what I did, I wanted these holes in about an inch from the edge. So all I did was I took my pencil, basically made my mark, and then just kind of followed that edge all the way around. Kind of like that. But I'm drilling a, I don't know, that size hole right there. Whatever size that is. Okay, so you can kind of see what I'm doing there. I'm going to go ahead and drill the rest of these, and then there's holes at the bottom there. But that is it for today's video. Friday we will be wrapping this thing up. We'll be done with it. We're going to come back. I'm going to drill these holes and then sand off those pencil marks. Then we're going to pour that thing on Friday's video, and we're going to wrap this thing up and see how it comes out. So hope you guys are liking this. This is number 6, I think, of this series, and number 7 will be on Friday. We'll be wrapping it up. So if you guys like this, please give us a thumbs up. Please share it as much as you can if you think this is of value to you and other woodworkers that you know. I'm on Instagram, Make a Wood Sign on Instagram. I'm posted on there pretty much every day now. If you have any questions on this or anything else, please email me directly, eric@makeawoodsign.com. And if you haven't subscribed yet, we'd love for you to subscribe. We appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for all your support. And what am I forgetting? That's pretty much it. I think I hit all of my spots. So thanks again, guys, and we'll see you on Friday. Have a great week. Bye-bye.